I used to think regret was born from failure, from the moments that collapsed, from the plans that never landed, from the risks that ended bad. But the older that I get, the more I question that assumption, cause the heaviest things I carry are mistakes, they're interruptions. The conversations never started, the calls I never made, the ideas sitting dormant while I convinced myself to wait. The roads I never walked because the map was incomplete, the opportunities I studied while they quietly left my reach. Nobody talks about that part. Everybody loves a comeback story. Everybody loves survival, the business that almost failed, the athlete who fought through injury, artist who was rejected 100 times. Those stories have an ending. Uncertainty doesn't, that's what makes it dangerous. A closed door is easier to understand than one left half open. A loss can be measured, a possibility keeps changing shape. You revisit it years later and your imagination updates the details. The alternate life becomes smarter, the alternate version becomes stronger, the alternate outcome becomes brighter. Meanwhile, reality stays exactly where you left it. I've watched people spend an entire decade negotiating with ghosts, not ghosts from the past, ghosts from the future. The person they could have been, the company they could have built, the city they could have moved to, the relationship they never explored because timing felt inconvenient. And maybe that's the strangest thing about potential. It doesn't disappear immediately, it lingers, it follows, it waits quietly in the background while life continues moving. Then one random afternoon you're stuck in traffic looking through a windshield at nothing important, and suddenly a thought appears. What if I had said yes? No warning, no invitation, just a question, and questions are powerful not because they provide answers, because they create dimensions. One question becomes 10 become a narrative becomes an alternate reality, different fashion and different versions of yourself, all created by single decision. That's why I become fascinated by crossroads, not dramatic movie moments, ordinary ones, the kind nobody recognizes while they're happening. A message you almost ignore, a book you almost don't read, a meeting you almost cancel, a risk you almost avoid. Life rarely announces turning points, it disguises them as regular afternoons. That's the trick, people expect transformation to arrive with noise. Most transformation arrives quietly, one adjustment, one commitment, one uncomfortable choice repeated long enough to matter. I learned that after making the same mistake more than once, waiting for certainty, waiting for confidence, waiting for proof, waiting for signs that never came. The problem with waiting is that it feels responsible, it feels intelligent, it feels safe, but safety has a hidden cost. Every year spent avoiding a risk is also where you spend avoiding a result, and eventually time starts asking questions, not implicitly, guessingly. Time doesn't need urgency, time always wins. One day you wake up and realize a decade passed while you were preparing. The prominent moment is one of the most expensive myths ever created, because perfection delays action, action creates information, information creates growth. Without action everything remains theoretical. I know people who can analyze any opportunity from every possible angle. Brilliant minds, sharp observations, perfect logic, yet somehow they remain standing in the same place. Because understanding movement and creating movement on identical skills. Meanwhile somebody less informed, less prepared, less experienced takes a step, then another. Years later the gap becomes impossible to ignore, not because one person was smarter, because one person participated. That's a lesson I keep returning to, but that solution changes everything. Reality rewards engagement differently than imagination does. Imagination is generous, it allows endless revisions. Reality requires commitment. Reality asks for effort before guarantees. Reality demands something valuable in exchange for possibility. Most people aren't afraid of failure, they're afraid of discovering the truth, because as long as a dream remains untouched, it remains perfect. The moment you pursue it, reality starts negotiating. Some dreams get stronger, some don't survive contact with experience. That uncertainty scares people, I understand why. I felt it too, standing at the edge of a decision, trying to calculate outcomes that don't exist yet, trying to predict versions of myself I haven't met, trying to control variables that were never mine to control. Eventually I realized something.